I'm Jake.
I'm Tom.
And we are VIMTV, Velocities in Music, the best kept secret in music reviews. Today, we're going to review a new album from an artist called Youth Lagoon entitled Wondrous Bughouse. Now, if you haven't heard of Youth Lagoon, you're probably not that into indie rock because in late 2011, there was an album called The Year of Hibernation that came out and swept the indie sound waves. And a lot of people really got into that album, and for good reason. I think I liked it more than you.
Yeah, a little bit. I still enjoyed it.
Yeah, but there were some seriously good songs on that album.
Oh, definitely.
Now, I would say though, it's an indie pop sort of record. It had these really big, kind of, I wouldn't call them builds, but like the songs would change towards the end. And I mean, there would be a climactic point.
Each one was kind of a crescendo format.
Exactly. Which is a build. Let's just face it. It's a build. Okay, it's a build. Okay. But at the same time, it kind of, all those tracks kind of followed the same formula. The album, while sweet and nice and really hit an emotional chord, I don't feel like was as strong in the songwriting department as this guy's full potential, and this guy's name is Trevor Powers.
Yes.
Now, I think that, at that point, we were a little on the fence about this band and this artist and where they were going to go. And now Wondrous Bughouse comes out, and their sound, the Youth Lagoon sound is now changing. We're seeing an advancement in songwriting, advancement in production styles. Tom, what was your take on Wondrous Bughouse?
It was a big shock to me because I did like Year of Hibernation. I didn't like it quite as much as everyone else. I think I gave it like a mid-70s. And the big thing to me was that I felt like it was an album of good songs that came together to make something a little bit less than the sum of its parts. Mostly just because I felt each song kind of accomplished the same thing.
Yeah, and that's what happens whenever you have an album made up of songs that follow a similar formula.
Yeah, so I was really interested to see where he'd take it from there because, I mean, he basically established himself as an artist on just that kind of formulaic structure, but putting in a very genuine, heartfelt, nostalgic feel to it. That was the big thing for me was nostalgia. You just got this sense of youth from it. And what's interesting is that on Wondrous Bughouse, he takes that looking back and goes completely the opposite direction. He's looking forward to what makes us us and death and life up till death.
Metaphysics.
Yes, all of that. Like those are the topics that he tackles, and in doing so, he also has created a completely different sound palette. This to me, like just this kind of sonic aesthetic of it, if you will, sounds to me a lot like Animal Collective or Panda Bear.
Panda Bear.
I wouldn't be surprised if like secretly Panda Bear produced this record. Like that is exactly what it sounds like, but I think he also incorporates a lot of like 60s psychedelic, kind of like a Beatles magical mystery tour.
That really
vibe.
Fuzzy bass is present throughout. I mean, it's just kind of slathered in every track. But also another thing, like there's a lot of really good melodies. A lot of them come from piano. And that's scattered throughout. And my favorite track, Raspberry Cane, has a lot of that piano that I really like that because it gives, while you have like these textures in the production and in that fuzzy bass, you also have this really soft melody going along too. And I think it complements with the vocal parts, which, I mean, he's not a particularly strong vocalist, but it's cute in a way. He has cute vocals. And I just got to the point where it's like, it's hard not to really like some of these tracks. Plus, the songwriting is a significant step up from The Year of Hibernation. I really feel like these songs where they don't all follow a same formula, they branch out. They do all sorts of crazy stuff. They don't ever repeat themselves. You might have, a melody or a hook that you hear here and there, but they definitely change as the song progresses. And the songs play into one another, so the album flows exceptionally well.
Yeah, the album flows so much better as one whole unit than The Year of Hibernation did. And another thing he did is, he just got so much more expansive with the songwriting. I felt like Year of Hibernation, most of the songs, the appeal came from one melody that would just cut through everything, and then everything else, while it built upon that melody, maybe enhanced the atmosphere driving it. It really just came down to that. With this, I mean, there's no one aspect of a song. There's still great melodies, but then when he uses them, he'll switch into something else completely. Move into another section of the song that still has something good to be said about it in a different way. So it's just, to me, it's a huge growth.
Well, and on The Year of Hibernation, we were really attached to like select tracks. And those select tracks were incredible. And as we listened to this, at first we were both kind of like, well, this is more of an album, but it doesn't have those killer tracks. I don't know about you, Tom, but I'm finding that the more that I listen to Wondrous Bughouse, the more I like and appreciate each of the individual tracks.
Yeah, and some of the ones that I thought were weaker at first are starting to come up for me. Songs like The Bath, Sleep Paralysis, Third Dystopia. I think that the song Mute, track 2, is going to be one of my favorite songs of the year.
And I'm the same way with Raspberry King.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that they'll always, I think for anyone who listens to this, there will be at least one track that just jumps out at you and really strikes a chord with you, and that's great that he can do that. I think I was looking for a little more consistency. Those songs, well, that I didn't like at first, well, they did come up for me, raised my score and my appreciation for the album a little bit. Still, I feel a little bit the same way as I did about Year of Hibernation, in the sense that there are some just clear highlights and some that are just kind of but also I think this album succeeds far more as an album.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I really am still interested to see what's he going to do next, because, you know, this was a good evolution, so what's the next evolution? I mean, you could have a big change in song. There could be an even greater scope with the next album. I mean, you definitely saw some theming and concept here, and in sound, you know, with the big jump in production, which is one of the most notable features, but there's always room for this sound to grow. He has a great start and a great sophomore record on top of it, just monumental, you know, monumentally popular freshman record. So Wondrous Bughouse, I'm digging it. I'm gonna go 83 on this.
I'm going 79.
That's a good score from us.
Yeah.
You know, it's what, 81?
Yep.
81?
Yep.
Dealing with odd numbers here. That's what we do. What do you guys think? Wondrous Bughouse compared to the debut. What's your favorite? Let us know at www.velocitiesandmusic.com or youtube.com/velocitiesandmusic. As always, follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, because that's where we get to talking with you guys, and you guys get to pick albums like Wondrous Bughouse for 2013 reviews from Velocities and Music. I'm Jake.
I'm Tom.
And we are VIMTV, moving music critique forward.